We've got Lily Tang Williams, future Congresswoman from New Hampshire.
Woohoo!
And of course, I'm here with my lovely co-host, Alicia Garcia.
What's up, homeboy? Welcome back from Japan. Just as we
you.
always do, we have Teddy Collins, owner of Spartan Defense.
Thank you.
And of course, we have the woman that inspires me more than anybody else in the political realm, Miss Lily Tang Williams. I cannot tell you what an honor it is to have you here. I have been so excited. I've been emotional all day because I'm like, oh my God, this is such a big deal to me. And you know, we were just talking offline, and I was, you know, the people out there watching, they don't get to hear what we say, you know, in the background. But I'm like, oh my God, this means a lot to me because I first talked to you, I told you just how much I admire you and how much I look up to you. And I have a picture of you in my room that I look at every day because I'm like, that woman that's a shero. You know what I mean? Most people idolize Kardashians and musicians, and I'm like, I want to be like her. And when I first spoke to you, what you told me was, I'm just like you. And that just resonated so much in my heart because I'm just a person who decided to push back and say no. And you're one of the biggest inspirations for me to do that. So everybody, from communism to Congress, Lily Tang Williams.
Absolutely. We'll give a little bio too here in a little bit. But yeah, guys, we'll do some updates as well on SB003. We do have some new updates for you guys on things that are happening in the background, things that are going on. But yeah, no, we're very happy to have you tonight. Thank you for coming on with us. I know you're very busy
thank
lady.
you, Paddy and Alicia. I want to tell you though, my son told me he goes to your store a lot.
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
He lives in Colorado Springs.
I'm
I
glad
hope
to have
you
him
get
as a
chance
customer.
to meet. Yes.
Good. I'm glad too. I was hoping that he wouldn't be supporting somewhere else, and we'd have to come over there and knock on his door.
Hey, as long as he's supporting local, I could care less. As long as he's supporting a local store, that's
Yeah,
all
but
that
we're
matters.
cool.
We are cool.
Right.
We are pretty cool.
I'm like, we're pretty cool though. So you are in Colorado right now, correct?
Yes.
And we would have loved to have you here. We want to work on our studio so we could have more conversations with people in person. And I hope that, this is the first time you're on our show, but I really hope this isn't the last. But Lily reached out to me and said, you know, she was going to be in Colorado and we wanted to do an event together. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to pass up an opportunity to have this woman in the presence of Coloradans who really need a spirited lift up right now because we're under such attack here in the state of Colorado of gun control, which sadly it's not a new story. You fought this back in 2014, 2015?
Yep.
Actually, 2013, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And so tell us, how long ago was it? What brought you to Colorado when you were in Colorado and you were living here?
Well, my husband and I actually lived in Wyoming. So then in graduate school, he got offered a job, which is Aurora, Colorado for Raytheon. And that time was Hughes Aircraft.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So before he even graduated from graduate school, getting his master's thesis done, we moved down to Aurora, Colorado temporarily, where he was getting his security clearance. And then he said, you know what, since we haven't bought a house, haven't unpacked everything, but there is opportunity to go to Hong Kong to work as expats for Hughes Aircraft. Mm-hmm. They were on contract to build a Hong Kong airport. And Hong Kong at that time was still under British rule,
yes,
not the communist China rule. So, 3 months later, we went to Hong Kong for 2 years as expat.
That's
with
really
our
cool.
two little boys. Yeah.
Nice.
And
that's
then
really cool.
Our two little boys story, like memory started in Hong Kong. We loved Hong Kong. We witnessed the transfer, Hong Kong from British government to the People's Republic of China. And we were so worried since we're, terrible happened. Soon, lots of Hong Kong friends we knew had a second passport or visa, whatever, in their pocket. So they could just bail out at any time since. So for first 20-something years, one country, two system was okay, but slowly, gradually, then they start to, basically not to keep their promise anymore. And 2019, when you saw the biggest protest in Hong Kong,
I remember that.
And almost like 1/3 of the Hong Kong population went out to protest.
Wow.
They cracked down on them hard too. I remember seeing it. I remember seeing the lasers, using the lasers as a form of nonviolent protest and things of that nature, and them cracking down on protesters, arresting them, taking them into jail. and never
and
seeing some of them again.
You know why they were protesting? Because Beijing wanted to push for extradition law. That means
Correct.
if you are wanted by Beijing government, you have to transfer them to Beijing. But one country system did not apply, so people were holding U.S. flag and even holding sign. We need a Second Amendment right in Hong Kong by the students leaders. But too bad, guess how they completely destroyed the biggest public massive protest?
Yeah,
is by using the COVID-19.
Oh.
COVID-19.
to suppress the protests. I remember it broke out around the exact time. You're right. I don't believe in coincidence. I really don't. So I 100% think that there was definitely some nefarious intent with that, as far as, because it was getting bad.
Sad.
Yeah, they were
very sad, very sad. And after that, they swiftly, of course, lock people down, and then basically force down on the Hong Kong people's throat the China's national security law.
Yes.
So you and I can go to Hong Kong today, say something anti-Chinese government with American passports as American citizen. It doesn't matter. They'll can be locked up, arrested.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Lily, tell us a little bit about your background for those of you who don't know where you come from. I know I've read on it. It's highly impressive as far as how you came to the United States and what you went through, and why you got involved in politics in the first place here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Because I know all that stuff, but
yeah, well, you know what? I was just happened to be born in China. I think in heart I should be born American. So I was born in Chengdu, Sichuan, China, and my parents were very poor workers' families working for state 6 days a week. And I'm the oldest out of 3 children. And when I was just 2 years old, Mao started, his Cultural Revolution.
Yes, which killed more of his own people than almost any dictator in history, from my understanding.
So before that, it was mass famine because his economical policy starving, but estimated 40 million to 60 million Chinese peasants to death.
Yes.
Mass famine. So I did not suffer a mass famine because I was born 1964, but my parents, my uncles, aunts all told me about that. And in the cities, my dad said he was living on one Chinese steamed bread a day or something, and working full time. He was just totally starving. So when I was born, and I just heard about mass famine, hunger, but they all thought it was caused by natural disasters, not by Mao, not by the government.
Yeah.
And then when he started his Cultural Revolution, which is I was 2 years old until I was 12 years, those 10 years, Cultural Revolution estimated by actually Chinese leader, not the foreign media. Let's say probably 20 million people died during that 10 years chaos and political, like violence, basically. And it's just, I was just growing up in that period, and some awful, horrible stories that I witnessed. I saw people getting killed, committed suicide. And, it was just like, I was traumatic. And I was a traumatized child. I swept some memories under the rock.
Yeah.
I just did not want to think about it until later, many years later in the U.S. Some of those memories came back to me from my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when Mao started his revolution, everybody had a firearm at that time, and then they went to strict gun control the second control was gained. And, because revolution, and the only way a communist can gain a revolution is through armed citizens. But unfortunately, once they take power, they don't like their citizens to be armed anymore because they can't keep power if that occurs. So you see this with the Bolsheviks in Russia. You saw it in China. So I'm sure the Second Amendment holds a really special place in your heart and in your life, as far as having that here in the United States, because it allows you to defend yourself from a tyrannical government or from a dictator in that case. But how did you end up here? How did you end up coming to the United States, and what made you want to come here to the United States?
How did you escape?
When I actually so when I was 14, when I was 12, Mao died. I was totally lost because he was like a god to me.
Yeah, that's how you were educated.
Yeah, that's how you were.
Yeah.
So I was totally depressed, lost, just like my entire generation. And but the college was reopened, so I had a new dream to go to college, search for truth, and to study law. So I studied very hard, nonstop until before my 17th birthday, I got admitted to a university in Shanghai. It's all government schools anyway, to study law. And my parents were not educated, so they always encouraged me to study hard, get the best degree, so you could have a better job if you just get educated. And I choose to study law because I discovered that that what happened to me, Mao's Cultural Revolution, and my teacher who was a prosecutor told me we are country of men, not country of laws. So I thought to really search for truth, to build China into future democratic rule of law country, I must go to study in law school. That was my ambition. So I was lucky. I passed 3 days national like a college entrance exam and got admitted to this university law school. So from 1981 to 1985, I was in Shanghai, China, which was an international, more open commerce city. When China opened up the economical reforms, foreigners, professors come in. I met an exchange student from United States. He told me about America. He told me about the Declaration of Independence, and all men were created equal by our Creator, not by any government. Our rights come from God. I mean, my light bulb came on. My light bulbs came on. It never turned off. I have individual rights, and my government cannot take that away. So after that, I become a very, very rebellious college student.
Yes.
I skip classes, I go to dancing parties, and because I even did not, comply to the requirement. When you go to visit a foreign student, you're supposed to sign on a piece of paper. There was a guard at the door to say, who do you want to visit? What are you going to talk about? Time in, time out.
Oh, wow.
After the first meetup, to know I have individual rights given to me by God, I said I don't want to sign up anymore. I just cheated. So when the lady go to pour tea, go to like bathroom, I just tiptoe run upstairs. So I rebelled, and of course, if I get caught, I could get into trouble. And so I learned not to comply. Yeah. Of course, I did not want to get caught either.
Civil disobedience.
So after that, I feel like I've become like a really straight rat.
Well, I was
smart straight rat.
I was watching. Of course, I'm not sure if everybody out there has seen a good friend of mine, Spike Cohen. So I was on the 2020 Libertarian panel for the Libertarian Conference when Spike Cohen was running as vice president for the Libertarian Party. And they reached out to me and said, hey, we're going to have a Second Amendment panel. We'd love for you to come out and speak on it. So I did, and that's where I met Spike Cohen. And then a couple years ago, he told me that you were going to debate David Hogg. And I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be fantastic.
Good old gun control Hogg.
Yes. God. It was
he debated David Hogg. I was there, actually, because the Spike invited me as a guest, just go to watch. Yeah. I just stood up, asked a question after the debate is over, actually.
And it was like mic drop. Like the whole world was like, oh. And so for y'all, if you haven't seen the video of Lily Tang just mopping the floor with David Hogg, it was one of the greatest moments in gun culture, where you have this very dainty, very demure Chinese woman walk up and she says, I'd like to ask you, David, can you guarantee me that the government will never be tyrannical? And he's like, I could never guarantee that. She's like, well, then the gun control debate is over. And it was like, ooh, it was like the crowd goes,
especially with him in Congress now.
Yeah.
There's no way government cannot be tyrannical with him behind the wheel. He wants to take everybody's rights. That's crazy.
I truly believe that kid is dumber than a box of rocks, and he's a government plant. You know, he's milking it for what it's worth.
He's making his name off the blood of his colleagues.
Absolutely, he is
the thing about him.
You know, he got elected to be the DNC, national DNC vice chair right now.
I know.
Vice chair.
It's crazy.
I know. Well,
I
mean,
have an original thought in his head either.
Exactly, but that's how the politicians, especially the Democrats, work. That's one of the lights that went off a little bit recently. We were at a committee hearing.
Well, to be fair, not all Democrats. We've met some pretty rational ones. Like, we've met some pro-gun ones, surprisingly. There are some rational ones. Yeah, one. He's actually a nice dude. But the majority of them are not. The majority are not. Yeah.
So we put some pressure on some Democrats because of, you know, all of this gun control that's going on here in Colorado.
Yeah, we just got mentioned in an article.
Yeah. We're
famous now.
We're rebellious too. Just so you know, like I've always been absolutely unruly. I've never wanted to follow the rules. I'm one of those people, if you tell me no, you're only going to encourage me to be more rebellious. So it's my least favorite word. The word yes is my favorite word. So tell me yes, I'll know the questions to ask and I'll get what I want. And, you know, we grew up in this day and age when Colorado used to be fun. Colorado used to be really red. We had great times. I grew up with guns outside.
Here.
Yeah. And now we have nothing but an onslaught of gun control. And we were... we kind of started this organization to kind of push back against all the gun control that's going on and get more people on the grassroots movement kind of organized and working towards freedom. Yeah. And one of the things that we found out when we were putting pressure on these Democrats is these people are cheaters. They know for a fact that they're going to party line vote. Mm-hmm. They don't even care to listen to us. We have video of them on the House floor and on the Senate floor coloring, texting on their phone, shopping in Amazon, literally not paying attention to anything that we're saying as people, not paying attention to what their colleagues are saying because they're just going to party line vote. And we, originally we were like, we're putting pressure on these people that are in soft districts or swing districts. And what we realized is they know that those people that are Democrats in those swing districts are going to get pressured by the gun community. So what do they tell them? Just vote for the guns anyway because we're going to not. So we're going to keep your seat protected so they don't come after you. And it's like, we just got to get rid of all of these people. We are absolutely 100% dedicated to the guns. And if you're not for the guns, you're not for us and you need to get out. And I saw your debate with, I forget that lady, and you were like, you have
Maggie Goodlander.
Yes, you're like, you have a how $1 million house that you have. What do you know about poverty? What do you know about these things? And I'm like, yeah. Like it's very refreshing to have someone like you who's willing to speak the truth, who doesn't play by these rules of, we have to tiptoe around subjects. Oh, you can't say that because these people play dirty. And it's about time that there's an authentic voice of the people who's willing to say the truth. And that's one of the things I really admire and I really respect about you is your willingness to stay, dedicated to the truth.
Because I keep telling people the only reason I'm getting involved in politics and spend time, money, advocate for freedom, because I truly believe it and feel passionate about America is the exceptional, best country on earth. Mm-hmm. And we are that shining city and they help for the people who love freedom all over the world. Look at us as a leader, as a shining city. If we lose this country, we have no place to go. Think about all the legal immigrants who come here like me, or political asylum seekers like me. I mean, like some other people, my friends who come here, they all say that they have no place to go. We have to fight here, but it takes everybody to get involved to fight. I'm not a politician. I never dreamed that in China I would come to America to run some political office.
Yeah,
I was not political for first 20 years in Colorado, raised 3 wonderful children, live in Parker, and start my own business. When I got laid off, I came to this country with $100 borrowed in my pocket, in debt to my professor, $1,200, and could not speak English. And I was not political. I just want to live in a free country, and my children will have their American dream. I'm living American. Yeah. So when the Colorado Democrats wanted to have gun control 2013, they got me. They got me activated, and they got me jumped off the sofa, went to state capitol, and testified. I have my YouTube channel, Lily Tang Williams. You can see 2013, I testified for the first time in the state capitol. And then I keep testifying many times for parental rights, against Common Core, and also against the civil assets forfeiture. I truly care about freedom and our constitutional rights of citizens. Well, and I mean, like, here I am, I'm still fighting since 2013. They did make me to leave the state. 2019, I moved to New Hampshire, and because 2018 Democrats won every seat in Colorado.
Yeah, crazy.
And it's been that way ever since.
It's been that way, yeah. I mean, we are starting to regain some ground. They did lose seats this last election, and let's hope that
Not
happens.
enough.
It's going to happen next year. With what happened after 2013, they lost a significant number of seats, and they were the first successful recalls to occur in Colorado ever. So I think we're going to see a lot of that, and we may be actually starting some of those ourselves if we need to. You know, similar situation with Alicia and I is we were kind of forced into action here, and that's what they're doing is they're awakening the sleeping giant. People like you, people like us, they're forcing us to get involved. And I mean, to be honest, we'd love to go back to a regular day life. I would love to, instead of be at the Capitol for 12 to 14 hours, I'd love to be with my daughters. I'd love to be with my wife. But instead, I'm having to drudge myself down to the Capitol to fight this crap almost every single day, and every single year it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Right.
It's sad.
And your business is going to be affected now.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we're expecting that. And I employ a little over 20 people here at Spartan Defense, so a lot of people rely on this business for their livelihoods.
So shop Spartan Defense, everyone. So shop Spartan Defense, and also hit that subscribe on the channel, hit the ring the bell, like it, help us with our algorithms. Because
and also hit the share button, because you know YouTube is anti-gun. We get a lot of views. We have also a 500,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, but it has been very difficult to get viewers and notifications out to our people for our shows. So we sharing that link and sharing that out to people really does help us. Does help out
the thing is, the world is backwards now. If you're talking about freedom, you're talking about wholesome things, you're talking about family values and, things of that nature, being outside, things that used to be acceptable, it's not acceptable anymore. But you want to do degrading things, you want to, show your body, you want to mutilate your body, you want to do all these awful things. Guess what? It's straight to the head of the class, and people are going to blast it over the internet. And now we have stupid people famous for doing stupid things. And yet when we're over here actually promoting freedom, promoting getting involved in government, promoting education and awareness and community, we're demonized. We're demonized.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, the reason I ran for Congress 2022 in New Hampshire as a Republican, because what happened during COVID lockdowns, summer of love, and all the mandates, and neighbors and kids, families all turn against each other, fear mongering, and later I discovered censorship. I mean, I was restricted. I went to Facebook jail. I was restricted on Twitter.
And then they didn't believe was true. They just locked you up in jail. Locked you up in a Facebook jail.
Yeah, I was warned many times. I mean, even today, my Facebook and my YouTube channel, I still feel I'm marked as restricted account. I'm a lot more effective on X.
Yes.
And thank God for Elon Musk. Purchasing the Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's why I have 250,000 people follow me right now.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I feel like the things that when they censor people, they're not just denying the people like us who want to speak the truth.
Absolutely.
They're denying all the regular people the opportunity to listen to the truth or to judge themselves, to say, I need information on this. There's some lives could be saved if the pandemic, they did not censor some scientists' opinions.
Agreed.
Yes. So when what kind of people? So they're calling other people Republicans, Elon, Trump, Lasses. But think about what kind of people were censor speech.
Yeah.
What?
Communists.
It's
Conservatives.
socialist,
Yeah.
communist.
Oh, yeah. No, they
Communists.
were allowed to speak. Yeah, it was one-sided. It was one-sided.
Well, we
So
just
they were
experienced that now.
censorship. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you remember when you lived here, there was a newspaper called the Westward. And back in my day, you would get the Westward. It was a free paper when I lived in Capitol Hill and stuff. And it had like all the bars and everything to go to.
It was not extremely skewed to one side or the other.
I
Now it's
remember
turning
that
into a
paper.
liberal
Actually,
paper
I remember that
mouthpiece.
But it was
paper,
like,
yeah.
you get the paper, you know where to go for all the clubs and the music and all the things that were going on. And it was part of the culture. And now it's become, just like most of the media here in Colorado, and that's one of the reasons we do this show, is it's become a controlled narrative. Shout out to Mosh Teray with, media means the most effective devil in America, is they force feed rhetoric. It's the mockingbird effect that they just continue to, you can't do that. You can't say that. And it's force fed rhetoric. And I was like, we got to do something about that. We have to speak out about these things.
Yeah.
And so we have a House Rep, Chad Clifford?
Chad Clifford, yeah, he did not like the fact that we showed up to his town hall and asked some tough questions of him on his positions on the bill, and he got on his soapbox with Westward this week and mentioned my business.
Yes.
And, basically said we were all conspiring against him in the 2A community. No, it just happened that multiple people in the 2A community don't like him and decided to show up.
Well, he literally said out loud in committee hearing that, and to people, he said, I host town meetings all the time. Nobody comes out.
Yeah,
he's
the one that put it out there that he was having a town meeting.
Yeah.
And we just decided, you know what, we're going to take you up on that offer and show up and say hi.
So I came down there with our show. We streamed it live, and he tried to censor me. He tried to tell me, you can't videotape
He
this.
wasn't very nice to you.
No,
In
he
fact,
wasn't. He's always
really rude. We
he's
had
really
it on
rude
camera.
to me.
He cussed almost the entire time.
And he
too.
cussed at me, and he
Wow.
hollered at me, and
Yeah.
was doing this
It's not going
all
to go
day.
well for him next year in 2020 or 2026 when he runs for re-election. I think those sound bites are going to make their way to his opponents.
But it's another narrative that these newspapers are giving people like him a platform to demonize people like us. So we had to take
Yeah,
it.
they claim that they reached out for comments.
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't receive a single
No.
call or message or anything for comment at all.
Nobody.
You gotta love it. Comment was not immediately available. We tried to reach out. No, you didn't. There's
No,
no
you
missed
didn't.
calls. There's no nothing. There's no emails, text, nothing.
And this is a business. Somebody,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They could have
They
called
coulda got
here.
a hold of
They
anybody
could have
at my
walked in the
store.
front. They could have walked in the front and said, "Hey, we would love to speak to these people." And that's why we started
Journalistic
this show.
integrities no longer exist.
No.
I mean, it just doesn't exist.
Well,
anymore.
that's why you can, that's why free speech is our First Amendment right.
Mm-hmm.
The
100%.
Second Amendment is to protect the first.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
that's what I'm saying. We cannot compromise on Second Amendment because
They're
you will
going
lose
after our
all
First
other
Amendment,
Bill of
too.
rights.
Yeah, you were just
Because,
talking about the censorship.
Yeah, right. Look at what happened. Did you ever read the Twitter files after
yeah.
Elon Musk bought Twitter?
They're fascinating.
I was so terrified. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, our federal government, DOJ, FBI, went to censor speech and mark all the individuals, some of small account individuals, or even the comedies ones, and then, they want to shut them down.
Oh yeah.
And then they accuse Republicans or Trump to be dictator Hitlers.
Yeah.
It's like I never heard that he must be very bad dictator, right? Because he's the one
yeah.
who was actually
You know-
totally censored, deleted. He
100%.
was deleted
They
as president.
They
You know,
censored Ken DeGraff.
It's interesting. I heard that Bill Maher met with Trump the other day and actually had a really good meeting. And you know how he hates Trump, but it's
Right.
funny because these people have this impression of him, and it's this evil impression. And then when they sit down with the man, they're like, oh, he's a likable guy. He's just a normal.
he's charismatic.
He's just a normal dude with that likes to crack a joke and have a good time. It's the narrative. It's
Well-
the narrative that's being portrayed by multiple agencies, multiple organizations. It's nuts.
There was a House Representative, Ken DeGraff, who is a staunch patriot. Like in my opinion, I think that Ken DeGraff is the most
I really like
outspoken
DeGraff. I really do
2A
like him.
advocate in the
Yeah.
House that we have. He fights
He's awesome.
he fights tooth and nail, and he went up to the podium to debate one of these egregious gun bills that we're facing right now, and he had a Rocky Mountain Gun Owners sticker on his iPad. Shout out to Rocky Mountain Gun Owners. And they censored him, and they told him that he had to take his sticker off. But they
Wow.
let
That's-
other House representatives come up there with
Brady campaign all
campaign
kinds of
stuff,
yeah.
Moms Demand stuff, Palestinian flags of other countries. They let them have say other what is it? What's the national anthems of other countries?
Oh, yeah.
Fly other flags in our House and Senate chambers, but yet somebody walks up there and they have a pro-2A sticker.
It doesn't have,
and they bully them until he takes it down and they censor him. And it's like, these are the people that are controlling our rights. These are the people that are speaking for the civil rights of an entire state of people. And my concern is this, and you were talking about how when you were young, you were 12 years old and Mao dies and you were devastated because that's all you knew. That's exactly what they're doing to the youth in America right now. They're indoctrinating them to not know what privacy is, so they don't miss it. You know what I mean? They don't understand what their right to privacy is. They don't understand what it means to have guns because they're fear-mongering them. They're force-feeding them fear. And they're using trauma to guide these kids into these mushy little sensitive, hypersensitive, fear-filled robots. So now what do? Guns are bad. Guns are bad.
My very viral post was if you look under my X account, Lily for Liberty, number 4 under highlights, 2023, I listed 12 features and tactics of Mao's Cultural Revolution. And 10 of them were very similar to today.
Oh, yeah.
What the radical leftists are using to actually, for their revolution, it's called a neo-Marxist revolution to destroy American ideals, to destroy traditional nuclear families by getting their kids, not to trust them, and only trust the state, their school counselors, and create a genderless societies.
Yeah.
So remember, when you cancel the biological sex differences, you're not just canceling women. You're not just letting the trans woman to be women playing their sports, invading their private spaces. You also cancel real men.
Yeah.
So what is the point to cancel gender, create a genderless society? That's what Mao did. It's because he wants everybody to be his comrade, to be the communist, to support his ideology, which is communism. But he used that ideology to sell to the Chinese people. Then he become like a supreme leader, godlike status. He brainwashed the entire generations of my uncles and we thought he was God.
I feel like that about Obama and the Biden administration. They totally use the same rhetoric and the same narrative. It's play by play, same stuff.
Yeah, Obama activated me first in this state, Colorado, because it's Common Core. He wanted to fundamentally transform America. He wanted to push down the national state standards and testing and the data collection and the marginalized parents and the play identity politics and the divide and conquer. So the Marxists have to constantly create new oppressed groups in order to do their revolution. Correct. So who are the new most oppressed groups today? And it is the trans kids. And also the illegal migrants. Illegals who come in here, they're also oppressed. So they need to constantly to get each other to fight and hate each other. And instead of doing traditional Marxist class struggles based on the wealth, now they're doing cultural Marxism. It's from a CRT to DEI and transgender rights. And it's all about identity politics for their revolution.
Agreed. And, I don't want to get too far off track with this, but I think the Democrats always want to have some type of form of a working class that they can take advantage of, whether it be from slaves during slavery, back in the 1800s, to illegal immigrants today, because illegal immigrants that are working in the United States are generally not treated as an equal worker. They're generally
they're
treated
taken advantage of
as a impoverished class, a peasantry class, and I think that's what they want. They're
want their
enslaved. Servants.
They're enslaved.
They have a history of that, and they want an underclass to support the wealthy and the elites.
So when I was telling Teddy all about you, because, I'm your biggest fan, he was like, tell me more about her. So I'm like, I'm going to print out a whole bunch of things about Lily Tang Williams to help you.
She's like, if you need someone to ever write a bio for you, this is the lady to do it. Just so you know, she will write your entire novel.
You just inspire me so much because it reminds me, like, full disclosure, transparency.
Rad
That's one of the
visuals.
things
Thanks
that
for
I
the
like
donation, brother. We appreciate that
about
chat.
the
Super
internet.
chat.
Woohoo!
Awesome, man.
Rad
Thank you,
visuals.
brother.
Thank you for the super chat. Round of applause. Zach Attack. Thank you
Zach
so
Attack
much.
as
Woo,
well.
woo,
Thank
woo,
you.
woo, woo.
Appreciate you guys.
We really appreciate that. It helps with our algorithms.
It does help.
You know, I woke up this morning. Well, I didn't wake up. I've been up all night working and doing things, but you know,
I've been. Thank you, brother.
I've been really emotional today because you know we're getting our ass handed to us left and right here in Colorado, and it's very difficult to wake up every day. Just like Teddy said, you know, we want to have fun. We want to thrive. We want to hang out with our friends. We want to enjoy the things that we do.
I was out of the country for about a week and a half for a vacation we had planned for quite a while in Japan, and I was still working in Japan at like 3 a.m. in the morning to communicate with you guys and try to organize stuff as best as possible as I could.
And you know, you wake up and it's like you're beat up because you're constantly fighting. You're constantly under attack. People judge you because you want to be free. And it's like, how did we get here to this point?
It's crazy.
That wanting to be free and wanting to be left alone and wanting the ability to protect yourself and defend yourself has become a demonized narrative. It's like, where did we go wrong? And
we're the bad guys, not the criminals, but us. Yeah.
We're the bad guys. So speaking of the bad guys, we just got notice today that Senate Bill 25003 is now officially on Jared Polis's desk.
Starts today.
So the 10 days for him to either veto it or to sign it or to let it go starts today, folks.
My prediction is that it's going to sit on his desk and pass because he's going to take no action at all. That's my prediction. That's the political move I could see Polis making.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that our people watching this and the people out there that are going to see this video will reach out to Polis's office and let him know to vote against this, especially since he has lofty ideas of higher office at a national level. If he puts his name on this or allows this to pass, there's no way he will ever serve in higher office.
Can I tell you that 2 days ago, I think it was Wednesday, yesterday actually, and I came home after my morning speaking to the Republican club group. I think I called him. I left a message. I made a video on my ex to say I called the governor of Colorado, urged him to vote to protect people's rights. And that's his job, but he needs to have courage. I met him briefly, actually, 2016.
Yeah.
And when I was running, and some people told me he's like a little bit more like a civil libertarian.
He claims to be a libertarian,
but he's not.
Yeah. So
He forgot the word liberty and libertarian.
Yeah.
He likes the Tarian part of it, but not the liberty part of it.
And also, he needs to have a big balls right now to come out to veto this.
I agree.
Urge him to veto this.
Especially as a gay governor, as someone of that community. I mean, this bill is going to affect the marginalized communities, the ones that are most affected the most. I mean, if anybody should be carrying, it's the people who are targeted the most in the United States. So
I feel like we're the targeted people that are the most in the United States.
Agree.
Like honestly, like you know, gay, trans, you know, the LGBTQ plus people, they're the norm, and we're not. Like
also, you think about Denver is a sexual city. How many illegals and criminals? Remember, the criminal gangs took over a rural apartment complex,
and nobody wanted to admit it was real.
I have not, I've lived in numerous amount of urban areas in the United States, and I have not felt less safe than I do when I go downtown Denver. Just homeless everywhere, crime going on. It's not a safe place.
It's not a safe place.
Not a safe place.
And the sad part of that is
so sad. Yeah.
And what it's become,
they exploit the kids in those neighborhoods, in those schools.
It's crazy.
They keep them as soft targets because they want gun-free zones. And then what do? Moms Demand Action marches those kids down into the Capitol as bleeding hearts
twice now.
And saying, why are it's the guns, but nobody wants to talk about the mental health issues, the lack of parenting,
or the fact that our schools are less safe than an airport or other places where we should.
They're less safe than Best Buy.
It's crazy.
The groceries at King Supers have more security than our kids.
I can tell you that people just really are afraid of guns, but they should know. Look at the most restricted gun control states and cities. They never got rid of mass shootings. You know, they never got rid of it. Actually, make it less safe because criminals do not follow your damn laws. They don't care. They're criminals. But so they only use that to actually affect law-abiding citizens. But, you know, I think during pandemic, there were so many first-time Democrats, gun owners, because they did not feel safe. And you're not going to count on police come to save your ass because you're trying to defund the police. So you have to, rely on yourself. By the time they come, you're dead. It's no good. Yeah, and I live in New Hampshire, a constitutional carry state. In our state, you will never had the mass shootings because the criminals know. Then you don't know who is opening carry, who is concealing carry, and you just don't know because the criminal is always the minority. And most law-abiding citizens are the good people. I feel so safe in New Hampshire because everybody is packing heat.
New Hampshire, New Hampshire is a very, I flew down to SIG. They have their headquarters in New Hampshire. I flew out to SIG last year.
But I met somebody there too.
They need to invite you. If anybody knows, they need to recommend that they bring Lily Tang comes out to SIG because you should be there.
Academy. And then also Q is located there, and they have a really nice facility as well.
They do.
I went there. They did invite me. They want me to go there shooting, and I actually did an event with a Women's for Gun Rights group.
Nice.
And so you have an NRA certified woman trainers. So some ladies, they just don't know how to, get it prepared, and now they feel more comfortable for women to train them.
Well, I'm a firearms instructor, Lily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
my wife as well.
So that's great. I mean, they actually did support me. I had so many gun owners and gun owners of America and the national gun rights groups. I had 20-something gun stores in New Hampshire all come out, endorse me, and support me when I was running last year.
That's wonderful.
Because that's the value I embrace. I was not born American, but I'm definitely made in America because I come here to embrace New Hampshire values, live free or die. But my opponent called me extreme.
I know.
What is extreme about me who embrace American values and our state value of live free or die?
I watched that debate.
I don't get it either.
Like people watch football. I was like, that was so excellent. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, because we get asked a lot to run for office because we're so political. Same as a lot of our friends that are just citizens, gun owners turned political. And you've been in politics now for quite some time. One of my concerns is, did you start getting resistance and the media attacking you and attacking your family or trying to make your life a little bit more difficult? And how did you transition into dealing with that?
Well, the biggest hurdle I face actually is some people, including some Republicans, keep saying they don't trust me because I was born in China. Some accuse me of tied to CCP. It's just unbelievable. I will always explain to them, do your own research. Do your own research. I've been fighting for freedom for over a decade. And because of I speak up this country, tell my stories, I got a death threat from Beijing on X. I got a threat from Facebook 2019 to say you are wanted criminals by my native country. You dare not to come back to China. I have not seen my family for 10 years. 10 years.
I'm sorry.
So
that's hard.
How American do you want me to be? How much granny stater do you want me to be? Live free or die. The death is not the worst of the evil. That's what we believe in. So I said, basic, take a hike. I'm never going to be silenced in my new free country. I will speak. I will fight until the day of my death. That's what I promised.
That's why we need her in Congress.
That's why we need you in public office.
Yes,
so speaking of that, we are having an event to have you at this weekend. So today is Thursday, folks. Lily, we had talked a couple weeks ago, and she said she was going to be in town. I said, we have to have an event. There's no way that we can have you here and not do something freedom-oriented. And one of the things I thought about was, what do we need to do? People need to remember what we're fighting for. We've been protesting, and it's been, all of this turmoil.
Let's see what happens if we lose that fight.
Yeah, well,
I know what happens.
I said, let's shoot some guns. That's what we're gonna do. So we have the lovely Spartan Defense Armory and his beautiful wife and our amazing team. Shout out to our media team that helps put all this stuff together and helps us out. But we have a bunch of really, really high tech, innovative, the top of the line handguns. We have all the Lago Aliens, which are like anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 handguns
all the way
a
up
piece.
to $7,000 actually. So $4,000 to $7,000 handguns. Some of the most high tech handguns on the market will be available for people to try.
Yep.
We'll have some full autos to shoot because freedom, America.
Because freedom.
and some other things like stealth arms platypus, stuff of that nature that we'll have out at the range for people to
We're
try.
going to have a full auto Uzi. We're going to have a full auto Scorpion.
We'll be doing this at the gallery in
Lakewood, Colorado.
Lakewood, Colorado, Denver, Lakewood area.
And we have
very nice range and bar and restaurant there, guys.
Yeah,
So if
our
you've never been,
weapons,
come check it
which
out.
is a Colorado suppressor company, is bringing their suppressors out. We have Dead Air. Our shout out to our friend Jake. He's bringing all his Dead Air suppressors to range. So we're gonna have a good time, and you get to shoot. I'm like, you get to shoot. Don't you worry about that. We're going to make sure you have ammo. We're going to make sure you have ear pro. We're going to make sure you have eye pro. We have a cash bar for people. Thanks to the Libertarian Party of Colorado. A big shout out to them and a big thank you to everybody over there, because you're a huge inspiration to me, but you're also a huge inspiration to them. And they offered to pay for the hors d'oeuvres and the food for everybody to come out. So even if people thank you to them, yes, because of you, and it's because of you. I don't know if I would have been able to pull this off if you weren't a part of this, but they said we want, even if you buy a general admission ticket that's a free ticket, there's still food there for people to eat. There's a restaurant and bar there if you guys want to have a bigger meal. We're going to have a two-way social. We've invited, of course, the Libertarian Party out. We've invited Sean Steele and the Colorado Federal Firearms Licensee Association that we are both on the board of. A Girl in a Gun's going to be there. The Colorado State Shooting
Should have a few
Association.
politicians there as well.
We're going to have some politicians there. Shout out to the Colorado State Shooting Association. They actually just dropped their lawsuit on April 1st for Proposition KK against the excise tax with the NRA, with who else? Firearms Policy Coalition, with the Second Amendment Foundation. So right out to them. High Mountain Firearms donated a new Great Lakes 1911 Synergy.
2011
that we're going to shoot. And the Young Americans of Liberty are going to be there. They're college kids that are very, very liberty oriented, and they're very young and crazy. And I'm like, right on. And Ava Flanell called me today, and she said that the Young Americans, or the Young Republicans, are also coming out. And so it's going to be really, really wonderful to have the youth come out to see you and meet you and get that same inspiration and value that fire that you have.
Be a lot of giveaways, guys. We're gonna have
we have a
of
ton of
prizes we're gonna be
giveaways
given out for those that attend.
You know,
so
I don't know
this is
if you are
something don't
aware,
wanna
I'm
miss.
actually a keynote speaker for Young Americans for Liberty event in
Good.
St. Louis. Yeah, in St. Louis, Yalcon on the 13th, and I have to fly to St. Louis shortly after I go home. But that's what I feel. This is great because I'm not just a voice for New Hampshire. I'm also
you're a voice of all people.
I'm
voice
a
for
voice
freedom.
for freedom.
Yes, ma'am.
It's for the entire country. I'm going to be running for entire country for all freedom-loving people, and because I have a unique, powerful background stories.
Yes, you
I
do.
have lived 24 years without freedom. And
You're also an example of the American dream, which they're trying to kill this day and age, but
Absolutely
it still
they are.
exists.
Yes, I'm an embodiment of that American dream. You come here, live freedom. You take a personal responsibility to work hard and raise your family, start a business, and you want government to leave you alone. I'm capable of making my own decisions by myself.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't want what happened to me happen to the people in this country. You know, we got to get rid of the evil ideology of socialism and communism and totalitarianism, so that people can be left alone to pursue their rational self-interest and happiness and prosperity.
Absolutely.
And don't
Hear,
believe
hear.
don't believe the other media anymore.
Yeah.
Because the
Absolutely.
media is about indoctrination, and our education is also about indoctrination centers. We need to really use our brain to think
That's right.
independently. That's why labor
Critical
trust
thinking and
anything.
nonconformism isn't taught anymore, and it needs to be.
They're government schools. They're teaching kids how to stand in line and do
And
what
to be
they're
a
told and
drone.
be afraid, rather than think for themselves. They're not even talking about. These kids don't even know who Mao is. These kids don't even know what the Cultural Revolution is. They've never heard of the Holocaust. They've never heard of the Trail of Tears. These kids have no concept of the genocide that has led to what was led by disarmament of the people. And so they're like, you know, everybody's like, we should get rid of the Second Amendment. I hear these young people talking about eradicating the Second Amendment. It's like, you realize that the next thing that follows that is genocide.
Genocide or some form of control.
And they need to study the fate of Red Guard. Red Guards, millions of them got thrown under the bus. After Mao activism, use them to do his cultural revolution. He sent them away to countryside for over 10 years. And some had ended all very tragically. Just watch a movie called The Show. They sent down girl. Oh my goodness. And she is from my hometown, Chengdu province. And because our educational system failed to teach history, our parents, some parents failed to educate their kids. So you got the kids, take student loan, go to colleges, and they all come out, look like a little Karl Marx, and they want the government to take care of them. And you know what? When they control everything, when you rely on them, they can take them away overnight. You become their useful idiots. They need to understand that.
Big Timber is in the audience. He is a fellow YouTuber. I hope that he comes out on Saturday to meet you. We've invited him. I told him, come down.
He better be there Saturday and Sunday.
And come and film your show and come and be a part of this. And he is in the chat. He just gave us a big super chat. So thank you very much, Big Timber. Round of applause. He was actually my guest co-host last week while Teddy was having way more fun than I was. But I wanted to ask you, so I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. We have a picture of you here, and we put it on our flyer for the event, of you standing with your AR-15 in front of an American flag. And this was quite some time ago. This is when the magazine ban happened in Colorado. I remember you were talking about that.
Right. They banned the magazine. They passed by the party line after.
And we're still fighting that.
And after so many testimony, I testified. So when they passed by the party night, I went to the shop before the effective date, bought my own first AR-15. And that picture was taken 2015 when Obama said, I'm going to use my pen to sign the ban. So I told my husband, get your camera. And I got my Air Force Sons boots and pants, and so we took that picture and put on social media. Yes. And I also had the statement to go with it. I said, if you believe, government gun control is going to solve, the problems, I said the biggest mass shooting campaign is a tyrannical government. How can you say hope? Because of security, and we need to ban those guns. God, the biggest shooter of champions of mass shootings is a tyrannical government, and you only trust them to have guns. You only trust criminals to have those guns. It does not make sense.
They invite them here to have guns. They're like, you can come here, we're going to give you a driver's license, we're going to give you money, we're going to give you a place to live, we're going to give you all that,
and let them get on Social Security and vote. How horrible is that? They are marginalized American citizens. They are dismissing illegal immigrants like me. We have to wait for a long time. Like my brother waited 13 years in China to come to this country. And he and his wife worked his butt off during the entire pandemic. And as legal immigrants, for the first 5 years, if you had a sponsor, your sponsor is responsible for you hardships. You're not getting any welfare checks. Correct. But still, people who come here embrace American values, and the other one who are totally against the illegal immigration policies under Biden. It's not fair. It's not American. And it's also drive up inflation. It's throw our people under the bus.
And it takes up the job market too, and it creates unemployment for American citizens. So
because all the resources gone to those people. I mean, I do feel sympathetic towards people who want to come here, live a good life, but come here legally.
Yeah,
100%.
We welcome you.
And I got to say, I do think we need to do some overhaul on our immigration system, because there's certain things that should just be guaranteed citizenship, like military service. It doesn't matter. Like there is citizenship through military service, but there's a lot of restrictions on it. I think that we should definitely reform some things in our immigration system, but legal immigration is a must, and we need to know who's coming in.
Reform is needed.
100%.
Our economy and sometimes the job market, and you need lots of people.
100%.
But we used to have work visas. You can come here, work a work visa, then go home with your money and visit your families, and you go through background checks, health screens, and
that's
you're
necessary.
not on welfare checks. It's all it's good thing, But now they just want to turn it upside down because they have agenda. The agenda is to get the illegals come here, cut the front of lines. And without respect our laws,
and to get them to vote, to allow them to vote. It's crazy.
Yeah, they voted for their pocketbook, right? You want to get on welfare, and you get a driver's license, and you get a social security benefits, you go vote.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about a couple things. So if you guys are out there and you want to meet Lily, come out on Saturday. We're raising money to support her and her political cause. We're raising money to support us and our political cause. We have donations for the Colorado Federal Firearms Licensee Association. You can donate to the Colorado State Shooting Association. But we also have some wicked giveaways. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's donated to us because they believe in what we're doing. They believe in people like
Dead
you.
Air, Gideon Optics. Shout out to Jeff over at Specialty Sport.
Jeff, so we have a good friend over at Specialty Sport here in the Springs. I told him that we were having this event, and he said he would love to help. He donated a brand new Springfield Echelon with a fully decked out with Crimson Trace laser, Crimson Trace flashlight for the grand prize. And the second prizes that we have, I donated an entire training class, including ear pro, eye pro, ammunition, range fee, everything from me. Spartan Defense is donating a $500 gift certificate to Spartan Defense that you can use. We have Ava Flanell. She's donating Gators eyewear. We have the CFFLA donating Gideon Optic. We have the Yal kids are donating a really, really nice, like fully decked out Otis gun cleaning kit. We have, what else do we have? We have some really cool stuff.
You have lots of offers.
That's
That's
mine.
awesome.
No,
Yeah.
I thought you were donating your suppressor.
No, I am not donating my suppressor to this. That's mine.
Folks.
That's mine. But we have some really amazing gifts for everybody to come out and see. Oh, I'm donating some Vertex bags. We have a commuter Vertex bag that you can stage a whole bunch of weaponry in it with their tactigami system, and also a fanny pack that you can conceal in. We hope to have a lot of people.
Concealing in a fanny pack,
oh hell yeah, it's fun. It's good times, and we're gonna have our media team out there. We want to make sure that people hear your voice because I find you utterly inspiring. People like me do what I do because of people like you. Yeah. You remind me that we can make a difference. And there's a saying that people, there was a little boy walking down the beach, with the seashells or in the sea stars, and the old man sees him and he says, what the heck does this kid think he's doing? He can't possibly throw back all the sea stars in the ocean. The tide's going to go away and it's going to be dark. So he goes over to the kid and he says, what are you doing? You can't possibly think you're going to make a difference. There's miles and acres of seashore. And it's getting dark. You can't be out here saving all these sea stars and chucking them back in the sea. And the little boy looks at him, reaches down, gets a sea star, chucks it back into the ocean, and he says, I made a difference to that one. And that's how I feel with people like you, and seeing women like you that are shattering the narrative of what it means to be an American, and it means to be a gun owner, and what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a wife, what it means to be a patriot. And I really want to thank you. I want to thank all of our sponsors who have come together to support this, but I really want to thank you for honoring us with this, because it means everything, and it motivates us. And when we get weary and when we get tired, I look to people like you. I literally have your poster in my room, and I'm like, that woman inspires me, and I know that you give that to so many more people. And I just want to say thank you from everybody.
Thank you for that. I'm very grateful for this country. I'm grateful for Americans. When I first came here, went to Texas, met my husband the first night, really, God sent him. Yeah, I've been married for 34 years. I'm just so grateful, and people were so nice. They offered me free stuff. I was very poor graduate student. So tell me, America is like a racist country, white people are the threats. I just cannot accept that. I reject all that leftist propagandas. We're all Americans. We're founded by Americans' ideals and values. It doesn't matter where you come from. Look at me, right? I'm living American dream. I'm the embodiment of that. And don't tell me that, other people are Nazis and Hitlers. I can judge myself. Do not censor people. Don't violate people's rights. And to the freedom-loving Coloradans, make that call. And nobody's come to save you except yourself. Everybody has to do their part. Absolutely. Everybody got to do their part.
That's right.
Complaining does not do anything.
We see that so much.
Everybody do it.
Everybody expects someone else to do the work for them.
Yeah,
and we see that a lot. So that's a very good point. Get involved. Figure out how you can help. Figure out how you can you can fight back, how you can make a difference, because every single person can make a difference.
Collins, I can't say your name.
Appreciate you,
I
brother.
don't want to butcher it, but thank you so much, Colin, for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Brother. We
a
appreciate
round of
you.
applause for you for donating to the channel and helping us keep, the lights on and having amazing people like Lily on our show. I wanted to tell you also that we need to update this photo. We need to put a bigger rifle in your hand on Saturday.
Get her a Barrett 50 cal or something.
And have you holding that, and get another photo of you all strapped up and busting some caps down range and sowing some freedom seeds, because that's really what we do it for.
It's going to be a good time Saturday. We really hope that the viewers that are viewing here today and are going to show up and come on out. We've got
another event too the next day.
Yeah, we've got the staccato event going on Sunday as well. So those of you who want to get behind some staccatos and shoot those, we'll be having those out here in Colorado Springs on Sunday.
So maybe people meet me in person will realize, oh wow, Lily is a 5'1" little petite woman.
But she has the stature of a 6'4". Yeah.
But that's the whole point. I'm not that scary. But by having the gun rights, that's my best leverage to protect my family, freedom, my property. That's how the gun rights is so important. So, but I look forward to meeting everybody, and it'll be lots of fun. And you're offering lots of incentives, and I appreciate everybody who actually become sponsors, and we're gonna have fun. And but please call.
Oh yeah,
Governor of Colorado.
Yeah, please do. Thank you for reminding us of that.
Again, just an update again, guys. The bill is on his desk as of today. He has 10 days to sign it, veto it, or let it pass without signing it. Yep. So the pressure is on Polis. Call him, email him, be respectful, but tell him to vote against this, please.
And Lily, you also are going to have your swag available for sale at the event. Am I right in saying that? You're going to have all your T-shirts, and people can donate to, what are they donating to, Lily? What are they donating to?
I brought my 2 kind of gun T-shirts. I have Lily's store, actually, I've been posting. I have the AR-15 gun T-shirt, the picture I took in Colorado like 12 years ago. I have my famous, the gun meme T-shirt where I told,
where you burned the internet down with that.
Right, and somebody drew that, and my artist drew that, and gave to me the ownership to say, Lily, just go ahead, use it, put on T-shirt. So that's what I've been doing. So I will have lots of those T-shirts available. And for sale, whatever you can donate to my campaign, support my cause.
Yeah, do we have any special announcements we can talk about today, Lily, about you? What's going on? What the campaign is?
We're hoping. I mean, personally, I'm like, please run for office. Please run for office. Please come back to Colorado and smack up all these weaklings. I'm like, we miss you. We need you in a position. We will do everything that we can to support you. I will always support what you do. It's so nice to have people like you that have the real heart and the real fight still left in them.
So my committee, Lily for Congress, is a live committee, and we keep that live because I'm not a quitter, and I'm thinking about next week when I go back to New Hampshire and to run again. And I'm gonna run for America, for people in my district.
We need you.
I really want. It will be honor of my lifetime to serve the people. I truly trust the government supposed to serve the people, not to censor people, and not to serve the special interests, not to serve yourself to benefit getting rich by serving the Congress. We really need to have resources to take care of our own people who are poor, who are disabled, who are homeless, and who are veterans. But instead of sending money to support endless wars outside and to support illegal immigrants who did not come here legally and who also benefit themselves, those people only worry about their elections every 2 years, but they do not worry about our country's future. We are $36 trillion in debt already.
And they give themselves raises every year.
How are you? I mean, every kid has $110,000 on their head, the national debt. So I want to serve the people. I want to tell the truth. I want them to trust me. That's why I'm not like a typical politician. I don't have scripts. Whenever I go out talk and do interviews like this, my longest interview is 3 hours with Sean Ryan. And so I don't have scripts, okay? What you hear is me. It's from my chest. It's from my head.
It's from
it's
your
from
heart.
my heart. Yeah, it's from my heart. So I love this country. I love American people. I love my state, New Hampshire. Live free or die. So I'm hoping that
We miss you here. I wish you were still
can
here,
make a
but
big
I don't
impact.
blame you.
But I can always come here. I travel around the country to give speeches, do events, and hopefully someday I will be able to do that even, globally. I hope.
Well, I wanted to ask you one more thing because you just went viral on the internet for your Tesla video.
Oh,
So
as a Tesla owner myself,
he's a Tesla
I
owner.
haven't seen this video yet.
Yes. So we had somebody come in the shop today with some Tesla swag.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought that was awesome. For those of you who don't know, I own the tactical Tesla, the lifted Tesla with the brush guard and the camo job done on it that says "saving gas for guns" on the back. Yeah. That's me.
Wow.
That's me driving around. It'll be at the
Saving
gallery.
gas for guns.
Yeah, it'll be at the gallery on Saturday. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
And we'd
That
love
sounds kinda
to
cool.
we'd love to get a picture of you in front of his Tesla. I'm going to bring you some things out. I'm just really looking forward to seeing you, and I'm really looking forward to having you. I hope your sons can make it. I hope your family can make it. Thank you, Juan Moreno. Right on. Appreciate you.
brother. We
Thank you for
appreciate
your
you. Thank you for
support.
supporting the channel.
We all support you guys. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. I'm so excited that I at least get to hang out with you. Everybody, if you want to come out, we're still selling tickets. I'm really impressed with how many tickets we're selling for this
considering
event.
We only started promoting it about a week and a half
2 weeks ago.
ago.
Yeah,
2
a
weeks
week and a half
Yeah.
ago. And I was like looking for a place to have the event. I'm glad we had it. Everybody came together like Voltron. So everybody who's made this happen and provide for this to have this amazing event, let's get together. Let's have a great time. Tickets are on sale. If you want to go to the Eventbrite, you can just go to the Second Syndicate, or you could just Google Lily Tang Williams Eventbrite. It'll bring it up. Get your tickets. Tickets are going pretty
What time is that
fast.
starting on Saturday?
It's 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
4
So
p.m.
4
to 8 p.m. at the gallery. And,
Oh, excuse me. It's 3 p.m.
I'm sorry, 3 p.m. to
Yeah,
8
3 p.m. to we're gonna have the private bay so people can start shooting. And if they want to shoot guns, they'll have more time to do that. We have a
And there will
2A
be
vendor
full autos
social.
there,
Yeah.
So come have some fun.
You can
shoot
come
some
and
full
mingle
autos.
with some 2A people. We're going to start serving cocktails and hors d'oeuvres around 6 o'clock. Lily's going to start talking, having some people start talking around 7. And then, have a good time. And then we're going to have a staccato day the next day. So if you can't make it out and see Lily, if you guys are in Colorado Springs, and tell your sons if they want to come out, we would love to have them at Pikes
Tell them to
Peak
give me a
Gun
call.
Club.
I'll get them scheduled.
We have all the staccatos, which are like the Porsches of firearms, guys. For $35, you can come out and shoot all of those guns and enjoy some freedom as well, and support the
their new
people
HD
that are
series.
supporting you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I think it's about that time.
I know, it's about that time.
Before we go, though, we have to ask a question to ask everybody.
So, Lily, give us a quote that you love to closing, and also, what is your favorite firearm?
My favorite is still my AR-15.
All right.
I love that.
All right.
And,
America's firearm.
And I just want to say thank you for interviewing me and have this conversations. I'm open to have lots of conversations with American citizens, and I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to seeing some of my old friends in Colorado, also meeting new friends, especially lots of 2A people. And I'm just say that Colorado is worth fighting for. It's a beautiful state.
Thank you.
We cannot give up. We cannot give up.
We
I have
need to
so
hear
many
that.
friends, family here. And so you can adopt me. Like New Hampshire is my home state. I can be.
You can
this
adopt
will be
me.
like my second home state.
Well, it's been an absolute honor. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Everybody come out and support this amazing patriot and have some good conversation. We're going to be kicking it. We're not going to do anything stuffy. We're going to have a good time. There's going to be a cash bar. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres. There's going to be food and conversation, and we're going to bust some caps. So, in honor of Lily Tang, come out and support us, and we'll catch you on the flip, guys.
Yep, every Thursday, live 6
Bye.
p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Hit that subscribe
again,
and
Lily.
hit the bell.